And welcome back to the Overthinking Podcast, the show where we help you navigate all the chaos in your brain and help you actually make sense of it. Today's episode is for all of our holiday girlies who are starting to feel that creeping anxiety around food, family, and trying to stay on track for your fitness goals.
It's officially that time of year again. Holiday parties, travel, endless snacks showing up at work, or maybe your motivation has started to wane and you feel your routine is under attack. And because Hot Girls Think Ahead, we're bringing you this episode to set the expectations before the chaos begins.
And here's the truth: the holidays don't have to be this all or nothing trap. You don't need 6 week shred before the holidays, and you certainly just need a 6 minute game plan. Because hot girls don't spiral, we strategize. And this is your opportunity to decide how you want to show up before the Christmas cookies do. Will you fall into the clean plate club trap, or will you pre plan your plating strategy? And if giving this little wet and wild with your grandma's stuffing is part of your plan, then go off. But surviving the holidays comes down to intentionality. So let's get into it.
But
But
first,
first,
we're bringing
fuck
back
Mary
a Fuck
Kill.
Mary Kill today. It's been so
Bring her
long.
back. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, or pumpkin pie. You lead us off.
Ugh.
Okay, I already know what you're going to say now.
Unpopular opinion, pumpkin pie sucks.
Is that
So,
unpopular?
I think so. This is my, again, unpopular opinion. It is my opinion. And I know a lot of people are probably going to have a little tizzy with me over that. And that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I personally just think pumpkin pie is gross. The texture is weird. It's like baby food. So, immediate kill for me.
Okay.
I'm going to marry
2 shots to
mashed.
the head, pumpkin pie.
Yeah, bye. I'm going to marry mashed potatoes because obviously. And
No,
then
what is obvious about that though? What part of the mash?
it's salty, it's buttery, it's creamy, it's plain, so you can kind of like pair it with anything. If you get a little cranberry on it, you're stoked. If you get a little gravy on it, you're stoked. It's just good with everything, right? Like it's universal. It's the universal donor of joy.
The O positive of Thanksgiving.
So I'll probably fuck with stuffing because it's fine. Yeah, I'll fuck
But
around.
you're not going to have that every day. It's very much more of like a special occasion.
It's exclusive to Thanksgiving for sure.
Cool.
How about you?
I'm going to kill stuffing.
Okay. Okay.
Mainly just because I've had it gluten-free before. I've had it with gluten. It just tastes like soggy cereal to me. And if I'm gonna have soggy cereal, I'm gonna have Magic Spoon. So,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna kill stuffing. I'm going to marry mashed potatoes as well. Because you're right. Anything, it's actually kind of a vessel. It's a vessel for the gravy. It's a vessel for the turkey that's super
Totally.
dry. Like, so yeah, keep her around, Mary. And then we're gonna fuck pumpkin pie because I do like pumpkin pie, especially with a little accoutrements. I like some ice cream. I'd like some whipped cream as well.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I can
that's
really
fair.
dress her up.
That's fair. I will say, and my husband doesn't know this, but they have a family tradition of putting the turkey neck in the stuffing, and it's gross.
Hmm.
Is that a normal thing? Do I need to check on them? Are they okay?
I mean, people do really weird things with the turkey, like using like the giblets.
Yes, that's what the neck
No
is.
one ever uses that word.
That's what the neck is. It's the giblets.
Oh,
It's
I
so
thought that
gross.
was what you called those things you put on Crocs.
I don't know what those are.
What are they called that you put on Crocs?
Like charms?
Gibbets? There's a name for 'em, it starts with a G. Anyway, I digress.
Let's
Let's
get
get
into
into it.
our topic today. We'll start with a little reality check. So let's just first set some perspective. The holidays are only 10 days of the year. So they're not 2 months of free fall unless you let it. It's not a full season of undoing your progress. It's just a handful of moments, and because they're so close together, they can feel bigger than they actually are.
Yeah, and I think one of the misconceptions that if you eat 1 or 2 days of quote unquote "bad food," that's immediately gonna be stored onto your body as fat. Like, if you eat a piece of pumpkin pie, there it right is on your hip, right? But fortunately, that's not actually how fat gain works, and it's certainly not how your metabolism works. It actually takes a little bit of time for your body to store fat, and you actually have to eat in excess, like 3,500 calories from maintenance to gain a pound of body fat. So, any short term changes that you're noticing in your body weight is likely water gain, which is actually helping you digest and process all that yummy, rich food. There are five main reasons that you'll notice the scale going up. And it's not just because you're gaining body fat, right? It takes time. So by eating higher amounts of carbs than you usually are, when you eat more carbs, your body stores more glycogen, and each gram of glycogen, or essentially carbs, you're storing extra water with it, like 2 to 3 extra grams. So of course, like, your body's size and weight can be bigger and heavier because of just, again, extra water. Same thing with sodium, right? More sodium, more water retention. And also just the digestive load, because we're eating such higher volumes of food, it can slow down how quickly we digest these foods and feel not bloated again. So you might just feel bloated for a little longer because of the quantity of food. Another big one is out of town shutdown. If you're traveling for the holidays, you probably know this. And, bloating can happen from changes in cabin pressure if you're flying. It also happens from, using different bathrooms than you're used to taking your morning bowel movement. Like, even that can be a stressor.
Why?
And the other, because if you're not used, like, people have weird bathroom fear sometimes. So if you're staying at someone else's house and you're used to, like, going to the bathroom in the morning at a certain time, you might have a little bit extra, like, poop stress
Do you have like
because
a
you're,
shy colon?
yeah, like, shy, or like maybe because, like, someone's gonna come in or whatever. And also just being in different environments,
Or
like,
you're staying at your new boyfriend's house and you have food poisoning for the first time, meeting his family, and you're up all night. Definitely
yeah,
haven't been
and get
there.
neurovirus and literally shit all over the floor. Yeah, that can happen. And then the last one of the five, so we talked about travel, but the last one of the five is just, like, reduced overall activity. So if you're sitting more, you're hanging out with family more, socializing, you're probably just not getting as many steps, which can also do two things. One, kind of slow down your digestion a bit, and two, can also mean you're burning less calories, so your metabolism isn't as snappy as she usually is.
And I would also add back to your first point about the stored glycogen or stored carbohydrates, which is glycogen. You might feel flatter. Like if you're used to lifting, right? And you get like good pumps in your day, you get a good booty pump or shoulder pump. All of that is your stored carbohydrates creating the volume in your muscles. So when you even take a break for a week, the first thing that happens is your body's going to excrete the glycogen that it doesn't need. And that's why your muscles feel flatter and you come back and you're like, oh, I'm flabby. I lost muscle. I gained fat. No, you just excreted some of the glycogen that you didn't need because you're not training heavy.
Mic drop. It literally takes 3 to 5 weeks of non-activity to lose muscle mass. So this is exactly why we're having this conversation. We want to prepare so that you don't let this 10-day stint turn into a 6-week, 6-month, saga of not reaching your goals.
And it's known that people who eat a lot during the holidays and don't continue with their exercise regimen, they keep that weight on because they don't come in with a plan. And the reason why we're giving you this episode prior to all of the holidays is so you can get your hot girl routine down, and then when they're over, you're ready to jump back in, use that food for your gym exercise plan, and you're good to go, and you don't fall into that trap or the mistake that most people do. And again, it's normal to gain several points of weight in a single day, but it's exceptionally hard to gain several pounds of fat in a day. So your weight might change again for the things that we just mentioned prior.
Mhm.
And it's most likely because overindulgence will get first used as energy and then excreted. You may feel more inflamed or bloated, but that will reduce in a day or two. And nailing down these strategies to staying on track will make sure that your holiday indulgences don't spill over longer than they need.
Yes, and I've gotten stuck in that many, many, many times where it's like, "Oh, it starts off with Halloween. I'm gonna have some fun-sized candy that turns into basically an entire bag, and then I'm gonna go to Thanksgiving, and not just Thanksgiving, but the pre-Thanksgiving, and then the post-Thanksgiving, and the leftovers, and then Christmas is." It's a whole thing, not even like the holiday parties. So, let's talk a little bit about strategy. Before the chaos starts, we want you in on what we call your pre-planning phase, or your manifestation phase. Think of it as like doing a vibe check for your behavior patterns. So start thinking about what your independent Oh my God. So start thinking about what your biggest holiday obstacles are. Is it traveling? Is it the constant food everywhere? Is it the scarcity mindset that you only get mom's pecan pie once a year? Or is it your family pushing seconds on your plate? Do you have any specific examples or like obstacles that you've navigated?
Oh, for sure. My both my parents don't eat healthy, but my dad doesn't eat healthy to like the nth degree. He eats
Like it's his identity?
yeah, yes. His identity is like being allergic to vegetables. Not actually, but just like has never eaten a vegetable in his life except for a white potato. So I go to his house and it's just all ultra processed food, like it's only pantry food, no vegetables. So what I do in the instances that I am ready to like go there, I will text him and be like, "Hey, can you pick up some egg whites from the grocery store, some eggs, some whole wheat bread, some jam?" I tell him exactly the things that I want so that I am not like completely fucked and I have to like only eat cereal for breakfast because I'll be starving and then end up having to eat so much more just to feel satiated.
Which is like the trap that so many of us like we have said this to the nth degree as well in the podcast. Oh, I'm gonna wake up and have a bowl of cereal or some like cute oats, and then you're gonna be starving by 2 and probably in the Oreo, especially you, the Oreo box by like 3 p.m. Um,
What's
I think
yours?
my biggest holiday challenge is that because I'm gluten and dairy free, I'm allergic to those foods, that there's kind of this natural pause that I have to take when I'm making my plate or deciding what I'm going to eat. So that's a benefit. But the downside of that is that when I go home for the holidays, it's always this big challenge. Like, Brie, what are we going to cook? What are we going to cook? What are we going to have? What can you have? Can you have this? Can you have that? Can you have that? So there's so much pressure around what I can and cannot eat in this meal that I feel this like immense pressure to eat all of it. Like, "Oh, but I made these special little dinner rolls for you." It's like, well, I don't even really want a dinner roll, but now I feel like I have to have it because they made it specially for me.
Yeah, they guilt trip you into eating the food that they've made,
And it's not even like a guilt trip. It's like the guilt that I'm putting on myself. Like they're not saying like, "How come you're not eating this?" It's
right?
like maybe they're thinking it, but I don't know. It's a lot of pressure I put on myself to like try to make them happy. Like, see, thanks for doing like going the extra mile for me, and
I
it's
was
just
gonna say, it
exhausting.
sounds like some personal boundaries you're toying with,
Yeah, and it sounds like we should have an episode on that promptly in a couple weeks.
which means our next episode teaser is all gonna be about booze, family tensions, and setting boundaries with tense family relationships. So stay
Oh,
tuned for that next week.
need that.
Do
So
you want me to do the next part? Yeah. Okay. So once you identify what's coming, you can kind of zoom out and decide what really matters. So, like for me, my biggest thing with visiting family is the food environment. I want some things that feel healthy. So I know, okay, these are the things that I'm going to do, whether it's bring my own food or tell my parents to get the things that I would like to have around. And for the sake of this podcast episode, we're going to categorize your biggest concerns into 3 stress buckets. And this is going to be your training, your nutrition, and your family expectations. So, this is things like, are you going to have to take a break from training? Will I be overindulging? And is there a way I can make sure I can get at least one health packed meal? Like for me, mine was breakfast. These are the things I would like to have around. I know my family is going to pester me about my body, my food choices, having kids, career pressure.
yeah, and there are some people who are probably listening to this that don't have any like holiday stuff or family stuff around the holidays, but you can think of this as like your own interpersonal relationship as well. Like, are you putting pressure on yourself about your foods? So if you don't deal with family stress, kind of think of that third bucket as maybe like your own self stress. But the biggest thing to remember is you can't do it all. Like you do have to prioritize which bucket you're going to put more effort into and which one's going to need a release valve. You don't have to earn your food or prove your discipline during this time, but knowing that your body or how your body is going to respond to these variables and these obstacles is the way that you're going to keep that food guilt gremlin at bay. And most of the time, the stress response about a short-term poor diet is actually more harmful than the poor diet itself because of the stress response that you're in. I guess I could even say one more thing. Like when you're in a stress state, your digestion kind of shuts down. Like it doesn't work with us. It kind of slows down a bit. So if you can stop stressing about the food that you're eating, you actually might digest it better. And that is one of the hacks that we'll get into later of just being more mindful of the actual taste and the textures and like the food combinations you're having. And instead of just like eating it all as fast as you can, it's like, oh, okay, this is my mom's pecan pie. I'm going to savor every bite.
Also, if you don't like something, you don't have to eat it off your plate. I know that my family, when I was younger, would be like, oh, you have to finish your plate before you can get up. No, I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. If I don't like grandma's stuffing, I'm not going to eat grandma's stuffing, okay?
Yeah. I actually think that's one of the most adult things we can do is just say, okay, just because it's something we've always done doesn't mean that that's the way that I'm going to do it. And I think there's a lot of pressure around traditions.
Yeah. Trying to read what the next thing is. I've kind of already talked about that.
Yeah. I do want to say something about, especially after our last episode about tracking and weighing yourself, that for some people, actually staying in that process of having something to track, like whether it is the scale or it is progress photos, like that can be like a form of almost like exposure therapy of like, yep, I decided to make this choice. Like, yep, I want to observe how my body changes without the shame or guilt. We don't need to go into that. It's a little bit more nuanced.
So now that we've talked a little bit about the three stressors, let's talk about the training bucket.
Yes. So, one of the best things you can do to prepare for the holidays, if it's an option, is keep training and train heavy too. Give all that food that you're going to take in and put it to a good place. Feed the booty and fill the cheeks. I'm telling you, eating these excess calories can be a benefit to you
Like we
if your
talked
goal is
about,
muscle.
the glycogen.
Exactly.
We need all the excess calories that you're going to take in, give it a place to go. And since we're hot girls that prepare, use this time to start a new training plan that feels exciting to you. If you know that this time of year your motivation starts to dip right now and you're gonna have to take some time off, really spend the next few weeks pushing yourself with exercises that you love. Like if you love hip thrusts, for example, I've been doing a new training cycle that has way more tempo, slow reps, pauses, and a lot of bodybuilding exercises that I'm not typically used to. All of these days will be fueled by the pending choices that I'm definitely going to make in a few weeks.
For sure. And I am probably going to be one of those people who eats 3,000 calories in excess for that one day. Probably. And to me, holiday season also equals PR season.
And high rock
3,000
season.
and high rock season tomorrow, actually, in
Woo!
about 24 hours from now. But yeah, so I actually consider holiday season like kind of a bigger training season for myself so that when my extra 3,000 calories could actually mean like 30 pounds more on my hip thrust max. And that's the kind of math I can get behind. Chase a goal also that feels exciting instead of restrictive. This is a way that we can keep more of a performance mindset over this like shame and guilt gremlin mindset that maybe we've gotten stuck in before.
Yes. And
I
it's
have
also
some other. Go ahead.
and it's also an opportunity to maybe try a new class or something that you've been considering, like something that's been on my mind is trying the silks classes. Have you heard of that?
Oh, hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been curious. I don't know if I'll do it this season, but it might be on my 2026 bingo card.
Yeah, and like I'm always a fan of having a movement menu, right? Some days mac and cheese just doesn't sound good. So you can switch it up. And I think it's especially important during this time. Keep the main thing the main thing. We told you lift heavy. So if you have an opportunity to lift heavy, do that as the priority. But I'm all for going to pole class. Like, maybe it's a soul cycle class, but a couple other suggestions that I would have for you if you're someone who does get stuck in, shitty training or just like not into it, definitely take note of the warm up rule. We've talked about this a lot, but especially when your body is like kind of inundated with a lot of things that takes time to digest, your body's going to probably take a little bit longer to warm up and to kind of feel like that zest for training. So go to the gym. If you usually spend 5 minutes, spend 10. Just get your body nice and warm, nice and loose. And also because you've been sitting and maybe stressing, your body might also feel a little extra creaky from that. I always keep to my morning training sessions as best as I can because activation energy is the highest, cortisol is the highest. Family hasn't gotten in your way and trying to like make plans with you.
Did you lose your thought?
And personally, my body always feels like shit during the holidays if I don't take this approach. So, a little bit of extra warm up also means a little bit of extra non exercise activity. And every year, my hips hurt so bad. So, if you don't have the opportunity to train and lift heavy and like get your normal movement in, at least doing some mobility stuff from YouTube, from a coach you like, ask a friend, but have something at least that you can connect to that feels like a dedicated movement practice.
And I want to add, if you can, if it's an option, train on the morning or the day of your big family celebrations.
Hell
Again,
yes.
give that food somewhere to go. So if you know you're going to be drinking and eating in excess, just go get a little movement. And if you can't make it to a gym, that's okay. Remember, it's only a few days out of the year. What you do most of the time matters more than what you do sometimes.
And you can still elicit intensity even without weights. Okay. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so bummed I can't lift this holiday season, but I wish I could, then go do a max set of push ups to absolute failure, 3 to 4 sets. Great. You've done your pushing. For your legs, maybe you do some weighted wall sits with your luggage on your legs. Like there are also ways to be creative here. But if all else fails, go to our core 3, which is number 1, hit at least 6,000 steps. We know that 20 minutes of walking is basically 2,000 steps, so keep that little tip in your pocket when you're like feeling a little sluggish and your hips hurt. Number 2, hit your protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you weigh 150 pounds, you probably need 150 grams of protein. So
I want to
try to
ask
get at least.
I want to asterisk that 1 gram of goal body weight because it doesn't have to be your current body weight status. If you have a
Yes.
goal of losing, say, 50 pounds, you can use that goal body weight as your 1 gram per pound.
Yeah, if you know what your, like, lean body mass is from a DEXA or an InBody scan, that would be maybe, like, the baseline level of, like, what your lowest amount of protein you should get is, right? Up to what your goal body weight is or current body weight. And then the last thing is stay hydrated. We've talked about this so many times, but thirst cues feel like hunger cues. So especially during the holidays, be consistent with your water intake, and especially about half your body weight in ounces of water, maybe a little bit more, especially if you're drinking.
Yep. And those three things will carry you through more chaos than you might think. They're easy wins that keep you feeling grounded, even when your routine isn't perfect. Plus, they're portable. You don't have to worry about making it to a gym. And if you
Yeah,
need to remove yourself from family time, take hot girl walk.
of that. Pause for a second. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Realistic or flexible and realistic goals. See that like list of like how to feast this thing without derailing your diet. I really liked these. I know we've talked about them a little bit in most.
If you want to go through it like bop, 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 like maybe don't read everything, but just like
Right.
bop, 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 bop.
And then should we put that section after the flexible realistic goals? Because each one of those could kind of be a goal. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Okay. So I'll,
Only say sure if you actually know what I mean.
no, you want to move it down after we talk about flexible, realistic
Yeah.
goals.
Because my thought is like if they just say, okay, the only thing I'm focusing on is being mindful around alcohol and sugary drinks, that's like a pretty damn good goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can just say like, here's some action steps you can do. Take one, take all, choose your own adventure. Okay, so what did we just say? We said take a hot girl walk.
You said hot tea, hot girl walk.
You didn't add anything after that though. We just
No.
started talking.
And
Okay.
I can say, I could just take your spot on the flexible and realistic, start that off, and then say my little blurb. You say that, and then I'll do the feast stuff.
Yeah. Just say like we're not doing all or nothing. Here's some brief actionables you can take away from this episode. I like the we're not doing all or nothing. We're doing something always.
Yes.
So we're not doing all or nothing. We're doing something always. And then say here are a few brief actionable goals.
Okay. My Notion is always really fucking slow, and it's been driving me nuts. So
Do you
I'm
want
going to
do you want
try.
me to
It's
move
just
it?
taking forever.
I can move it.
It literally takes 15 seconds to make any fucking edit on this thing. It drives me nuts.
I got it. I did
Okay.
it.
Well, mine's in the queue trying to do it as well. But
Okay.
whatever.
Take one, take all, choose your own adventure. Okay. Can you see what I just typed?
No, I'm refreshing it.
Can you hear Seth in the other room?
A little.
Hopefully it's not on our background. Let me know when you're ready.
This is literally how long it takes my Notion every single time. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, you ready?
And now it's ready. Okay. Yep, exactly. And the major key to surviving the holidays, again, is not about perfection. It's about flexibility. And I say this all the time, but the things that you do most of the time matter more than the things you do some of.
You can enjoy the food, skip the guilt, and maintain progress by setting goals that actually fit your life right now. Like maybe not trying to diet through the holidays. It's okay to be in maintenance mode too. It's okay to just focus on feeling good instead of looking shredded in December when you're likely wearing baggy clothes anyway.
And what we're not doing is all or nothing, especially this year. We're doing something always. So here's some other brief but actionable goals that you can focus on instead. Take one, take all, choose your own adventure. So, number one, start with smaller portions. Just start with a small plate. And then if you want more, get more. Focus on the foods that you actually truly enjoy, not like me feeling guilt tripped into eating things that I don't really even want. Chew your fucking food. I
This
mean it. Chew your food
cat.
longer than all caps until the bite is like a smoothie like consistency. You are not ready to swallow that piece of food. Chew it. Number 4, balance your plate. If you really struggle with portions, then put the quote unquote good stuff on your plate first. Fill it up with leafy greens, whatever colorful sides you can find first, and then let the other half be whatever you want. Next, number 5, be mindful of sugar and alcohol. We know that these can be the empty kind of calories that pull us back. Play a game with yourself. Instead of one more drink, maybe you want one more food. Like you can balance the scales, especially with these two things that you probably don't have all the time. And then the last one, like we said, just set realistic expectations. It's okay to indulge a little. Maybe that's part of your celebration, but focus instead on moderation instead of perfection and enjoy the holiday without the guilt because we know that is more harmful than the actual food itself. So remember, the holidays don't have to derail you. You just have to decide what's realistic. Think ahead, prep your mindset, and make it fun. Take a moment to realign to your identity. Journal and ask yourself, how would the most evolved version of me handle this situation? How would she handle the holidays? What behaviors would she engage in or not engage in? And then do as much of that as you can. Not what someone on Instagram says, be your own muse.
And 6 minutes of planning now beats six weeks of damage control later. Remember, hot girls don't panic, we prepare. Stay tuned for next week as we go through our tried and true recipe for spiral free social eating and drinking and setting those family boundaries.
Thank you for tuning in to the Overt Thinking Podcast. And as always, connect with us on Instagram at overt_thinking podcast, at Brianna Lamb, and at Kelsey Michelle. And please go journal about how you'll show up, lift something heavy, and drink your water. And we will see you
In the
in the
next
next
episode.
episode.